Packers 6-point favorites. Packers only beat the Niners here as they welcome in the 49ers by 2 back in week 3. So is this too high, Reid?
Yeah. And what's this hate with San Francisco? Pierce and his curmudgeon self, when I was watching that first part of the segment, saying that this is not a good team and they got lucky. Like, San Francisco put up 3 field goals in the first half that could easily have been touchdowns. And Dallas was only in that game because they got lucky on a call, right? So with the fact that San Francisco is getting a little bit disrespected in this market is the reason why I think this is too high. Like, the Packers are 7-3 ATS in their last 10 playoff games, but the 49ers are 4-0 ATS, guys, in their last 4 divisional playoff games. So when you take a look at what they're able to do, and when you have a running back like Eli Mitchell, boy, this guy was a steal, feeling like the steal of the draft right now in the later rounds. When you can have that type of player in the running game, and Deebo Samuel has had 5 times more attempts in last week's game as opposed to the first time these two teams match up, guess what Green Bay can't do well? They cannot defend the run whatsoever. And Jimmy Garoppolo is a player that, and sorry to contradict Steve as well, it's a guy who's come back against teams like the Green Bay defense. He did it against the Rams to go into the playoffs. They were down 17-0 going into the second half. So what these guys are saying in the first segment was absolute cockamamie. And you take a look at what the San Francisco team can do, I think this is too low, or excuse me, too high.
Yeah, 49ers have dominated Green Bay with the run in previous seasons and could do so again. Geoff, Aaron Rodgers 0-3 in the playoffs in his career against San Francisco. San Fran, his kryptonite.
They have put some beatings down on the Packers. I really worry this is like the game where we all just like San Francisco's getting disrespected, and then the Packers just blow out the 49ers. I actually don't think this line is too high. I think that it should be like 5.5 was fine. At 6, you start to wonder. If it got over 6, I definitely say it was too high. I think the Packers are the best team in the NFL, and I've thought that since the start. I think they're far more consistent and complete. They've shored up their secondary. They're getting Darius Smith back for this game. Who in the San Francisco secondary is going to stop Davante Adams? That's the question for me, and that's what really has me wondering why we think this one's too high. I don't think it is too high. I think it's right where it should be. Now, at the same time, I mean, if I think it's right where it should be, it's not like I'm running out of my way to bet the Green Bay Packers, because everything Reid said is right. This San Francisco offense is very good at coming back. They will continue to move the ball regardless of the score. But I think this line is fine. I'm just not sure if I necessarily want to take it with the Packers yet. So this is just like one where I'm going to give like the boring answer and say this one's probably right where it should be. Maybe you don't go out of your way to like bet the heavy public favorite Packers, but I'm going to give the Green Bay some credit here, because all I've heard this week is San Francisco is going to make this game close. They've been the far less consistent team of these two, and the Packers are coming off a week of rest with the far better quarterback. So I'm going to say this one's just right.
Yeah, and I also mentioned earlier in the show with Stephen Pierce, too, that the health of Nick Bosa is going to be absolutely crucial in this game, because less pressure on Rodgers. Yes, he can pick apart that secondary, which you mentioned, Geoff, is the weakest part of that 49ers defense.